Well, police are facilitating attempts to bring more illegal miners to surface in Stilfontein after almost 2 weeks of a standoff with the so-called Zamazamas. They're refusing to come to surface, and the High Court now in Pretoria has ordered that they be allowed to exit. Newzroom Afrika's Juniour Khumalo joins us live there with the latest details. Good morning to you, Junior. Developments this morning coming from those disused mines, of course, in light and in context of that court order from Pretoria.
Indeed, Audrey, we are closer to that shaft. As you may know, over the past few days, we were not allowed to get this close to this open shaft as the police basically were trying to assist those miners that are still underground to make their way back onto the surface. But I'll just ask my colleague, Otlolani, just to show you some of the equipment that they have been using to try and pull some of their colleagues out of that mine. This is one of the ropes that they have been using. This is exactly what the Minister of Police was speaking about when he said that the current efforts that are being used by the locals are not safe because this is the makeshift equipment that was being used to pull these individuals out. And as we get closer to that shaft, like it's very deep, they indicated that it's almost 2 kilometers deep. We are not going to get too close to it, but we do have with us the national spokesperson for the police, Athlenda Mathe, who is just going to speak to us about why the police have finally allowed the media to get this close to this shaft. Thank you so much for joining us, Athlenda. Why did the police today decide to allow the media to come this close to the mine shaft?
Okay. Well, a very good morning and thank you for the opportunity. As the police, we've realized that there's a lot of confusion out there as to what is happening in terms of our operations at these particular disused mining shafts. We've always maintained that we are intensifying our static deployments, and we've always maintained that we are not blocking anyone from resurfacing. We are not blocking any shaft. It is quite impossible, as you can see, to block this particular disused mining shaft. Our responsibility here is to prevent and combat criminality, and that is exactly what we are doing as the SAPS. It's to prevent illegal miners from going underground to continue with that illicit mining activities. It is also to prevent the food and water from going down to ensure that they resurface. But you would have seen this week, we have allowed the food and water to go down so that they can regain the strength and to resurface.
Okay. Of particular interest when it comes to that court order that was issued yesterday was this very fact of the police preventing food and water from going down. We saw 4 miners surfacing yesterday, 2 of them basically looking very weak and frail because they did not have any sustenance. This has been credited with the police basically not giving them food. Are you, as the police, worried that the individuals down there might be becoming weak and some of them losing their lives because of this decision not to give them food and water?
Well, firstly, the strategy that we are implementing, we have implemented it because we are concerned that there are human beings in a disused, abandoned mine shaft. We have received, a report from the mine owner and the Department of Minerals Resources indicating that this particular abandoned, disused mine shaft is not safe. Firstly, there's hazardous gases that are flowing. The terrain, it's not quite well. And you cannot expect our hardworking men and women in blue to go down there and operate down there. As you can see for yourself, it's quite steep. Who are you expecting to go down there and rescue people? That is why the Minister of Police directed the MEC of Community Safety in the province, MEC Vessels Moreng, to establish a team that will convene meetings, come up with a plan that will ensure that all these illegal miners are brought up to where we are. So I can confirm that that particular task team convened a meeting. The decision was made that the mine and the mine rescue experts would come and conduct an assessment. That assessment will then inform the operational plan that will be presented to the ministers, and thereafter the ministers will provide a way forward. But we stand firm with our operations. We are preventing and combating criminality. we are still here. We are of the view that the court order that has been issued, it does not stop us from continuing to stamp the authority of the state, from continuing to implement our constitutional mandate as the SAPS.
Speaking about that court order, it also says that having only this one exit is part of the problem. So there is an encouragement by that order basically to open another shaft that is going to make it easier to have more people coming out because this current exit can only allow one person at a time. Whose duty then is it to ensure that another exit is opened?
Well, the first aspect, as you said, of the court order talks to the unblocking of another shaft to allow these illegal miners to resurface. That is not the mandate of the SAPS. That is the mandate of the Department of Minerals, Resources and Energy, working closely with the mine owners. So we will rely on them. I think they will obviously submit their arguments and before court as to if that's feasible or not. Our mandate has always been to restore law and order, maintain order, and enforce the law accordingly. We are here to prevent and combat all forms of criminality and illicit mining that is happening underground. It's part of that criminality that we are working hard to combat. So our operations are continuing. You would have seen our members are still here to prevent illegal miners from continuing to go underground to perform those illicit mining activities. But most importantly, we are calling on all those illegal miners to resurface in a safe and in a safe manner. But like I've indicated, I think the minister gave the team 7 days to submit that plan, and we will be here as the SAPS to continue to conduct our particular operation.
Okay, thank you so much. That is the police national spokesperson, Athlenda Mathe, basically highlighting, Audrey, that they are going to continue with their efforts basically to assist those miners who are still underground to resurface. But she indicated there that part of that work that includes the reopening of another shaft exit so that a number of those miners who are still underground can make their way to the surface is the work of the Minister of the Mineral Resources, Gwede Mantashe. We still have not seen the Minister of Mineral Resources making his way here to the northwest, but we will await and see if he does eventually come here and whether his department is going to comply with that section of the court order.
I'm just curious to find out if any of the community members are visible today, any intelligence that is coming out from underground with regards to the state or the status of those mine workers that are still down there. I mean, we saw the one that came out, the latest to have come out yesterday, looking very emaciated. Is there any other information that we know with regards to what exactly is happening down there?
As it stands right now, we do not see any of the individuals like the volunteers that have been making their way to this area every morning to try and assist the individuals who are still making their way out. We haven't seen any of them this morning, but we do expect them to come since the rescue mission basically has been spearheaded by these individuals, despite the Minister of Police having indicated earlier this week, I think it was on Friday, where he had said that there is that team of experts that is going to be put in place to try and assist these individuals. We haven't seen any of those experts making their way here. We do expect them to start making their way as from Monday to come and assess the situation, and then we might see them starting with their operations. But as you have rightfully put it, we've seen some of those miners resurface, especially yesterday. There were 4 individuals that resurfaced, and one of them did speak about the condition underground, who was asked, he had come out with an injury on his head, and when asked what had happened, he said that he sustained that injury as most of the miners that are still trapped underground were actually fighting over the little food that was still left underground. So that's the last we heard from them. Today we haven't heard much around how the condition is underground, Audrey.
We'll leave it there, Juniour Khumalo, outside of that shaft in Stilfontein.